Welcome back, everybody, to A&M Reviews. It's Muhammad and Adrian, and today we're here to review the Marvel film, The Eternals. Essentially, this film is about a race of immortal beings with superhuman powers who have secretly lived on Earth for thousands of years. Reunite to battle the evil Deviants. So, what did you get from the film, The Eternals?
So I loved Eternals. I think it was, the way I've been describing, is the most beautiful Marvel movie. I think it's very cinematic. I think both in how it was filmed and the way the character stories are told. It's not like the traditional, it's not like Avengers or Ant-Man or Guardians of the Galaxy. It has its own tone. It almost feels like it's outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with the way that it's filmed, but still using those characters. And I appreciated it. I think it's another way to include more genres into the MCU.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Now, at first, I couldn't exactly get on board with this because I did not know where this thing was going. It kind of puts you right into things right at the beginning. I'm like, what's going on? Who are these people? But after a while, I caught on and it started to get better. But I do have to commend Marvel for just making good excuses for these people not to be present earlier on. I mean, they keep making really good excuses. I mean, these are highly powered beings that could have made a difference early on, and they explain, oh, well, we're not supposed to involve ourselves in that kind of stuff. So there's your explanation. And then
yeah, it was like, yeah, we were here, we were watching, we were invincible, we saw it all happen, we've been here for thousands of years, and that wasn't our job. So
get over it.
We had one job and we did that. That's all we're here for.
Yeah,
we don't do overtime.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not doing anything extra. But it's almost like their story happens alongside everybody else, but still in a different area. Mm-hmm. And that's just really hard to do. I mean, for them to tell this story and you can see why they don't kind of cross paths with everybody else. That's actually really amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what I could have seen happen, and I think it didn't happen, I'm okay with that, but them kind of doing what happened in Endgame, where they're going back in time and seeing, what's going on in the MCU at that point with the current heroes going back. They could have chose to have this movie, have random scenes of them interacting with other MCU characters throughout time, just, secretly and that kind of a thing, or coincidentally they were in the background, no one noticed. They could have did that. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad it had its own tone. For somehow they felt like the oldest heroes and the newest heroes at the same time, which is hard to do.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. A lot of emphasis on the old heroes because these guys are here from the beginning, like literally,
right?
The beginning of time on Earth, and they kind of go back and forth between present day and in the past, kind of like a non-linear story being told here. And
yes,
it shows the progression throughout their lives and what happened that led up to this point. Some of their history, where they came from, who is the leader of them.
Right.
It's very interesting, and Marvel has definitely gone intergalactic. I mean, just way out there. And one thing that I want to talk about, I mean, eventually we're going to get more in depth to this character, but the Celestial, every time he showed up on screen, I love that theme. It's almost like this out of world, just like beyond all people, all beings, just like it was
right.
Just
I mean, the scale, it was beautifully done. And in the comics, they're so huge and it doesn't make sense. And they did the same thing here, but somehow it felt like this is how it would be. It's happening. right? These weird comics that on the fringes of interest to people who read Marvel comics. It's here and they're doing it, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's happening. And that was crazy to see the entire time.
Thanks for watching. And if you would like to be featured on our podcast, make sure to click the link in the description.